I think first of all, I'm picking up from what Alex and Sasha mentioned earlier on as well. I think we generally tend to speak about home prices and performance of markets and whatnot generally. And I think, the same way that you can't say, London behaves the same way as the rest of the country in terms of the residential market, you can't say the same about Spain itself or Portugal in that sense. So I think it's very important to highlight that, how it's performed, how it's moved and what the potential behind it is obviously being very different. I think in terms of capital flows, I think they're very aware of that, and they're basically focusing right now in the areas that have the lower risk in that sense. So we tend to see, great focus and great activity around those, cities that obviously have that, interest in that sense. So mainly Madrid and Barcelona. I think the main concern in Spain all these years has been, the great housing stock that's been unsold. Some of the official levels saying, way beyond 1 million homes. So, with residential sales annual averaging in the region of 300,000, one may think that it'd take you 4 or 5 years before that stock is absorbed and you start seeing, some tension in prices. Now the stock has actually gone down and we're seeing obviously those capital flows. And may I just also suggest that you'll download an application that we just launched in the app. It's free. It's called Capital Flows. I saw it the other day. You register for free, and it's great because it shows you around the world how the capitals are flowing from each country in and out, and it also shows you what the top main cities are and which investors are there. And I thought it was quite cool. But in that sense, we're seeing great interest from capital investors in Spain and in Portugal. And there was Sasha mentioned the Chinese ones. We've seen that in Spain and Portugal as well. More in Portugal. A lot of saying that just because of the golden visa effect, obviously the Spanish government and Portuguese government trying to bring, people to buy homes, trying to improve and encourage, more activity in the market. So seeing a lot of the Chinese individuals coming in and being able to buy homes that are, beyond 500,000 euros and obviously, gaining a visa. So a lot of activity in Portugal in that sense, not so much in Spain. In Spain, what we have seen is investors alike of Wanda, buying, iconic buildings for excess of, 250 million euros in that sense. So, and looking into buying, large sites of land to actually develop. Other international players, the US, which, traditionally only accounted for maybe, 10%, last year accounted for more than 25% of the total investment volume in Spain generally in that sense. So that's quite significant in terms of seeing where the capital is flowing from. And I think, the outlook in that sense in terms of where it's going to happen. Madrid and Barcelona, the largest cities, same as Portugal and Lisbon, are continuing to attract a lot of the institutional money looking to buy, the large stock and the better performing, more stable, good fundamentals. And obviously seeing, the rest of the potential, foreign home buyers buying around the coast, second homes and whatnot. So I think, it's a totally different story depending on where you look. And I think it's important to highlight that.